This is the Mark Milton Show with The Smash, with former Department of Justice Tax Division trial attorney Mark Milton and The Smash on 590 The Fan and 590thefan.com.
All right, you are listening to the Mark Milton Show with The Smash, broadcasting from the Miller Furniture Studios in Kirkwood, Missouri. Smash, how you doing today?
Buddy, I am fine. I'm kind of excited because of this Kamala Harris, but it's really Kamala. And I tell you why I'm excited, because she's either going to start something up or she's going to tear something down, and either way, it's going to be a great show.
Absolutely. We will get to that during one of our segments, but first we have a great guest in studio today, Justin Kraudel, who is the president of Monta Watches, which I am sporting a Monta Watch
it's
today.
It's a beauty.
Thanks to my beautiful wife who purchased it for my birthday. I got to meet Justin through that. I feel like we should have known each other for a long time. Belleville native, entrepreneur. Justin, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mark, and Smash, good to finally meet you. Great to be with you guys this morning.
My pleasure, buddy.
Yeah, we part of our show, we talk politics, we talk taxes, and we talk business and
lifestyle.
Lifestyle. And we always want to bring on entrepreneurs, people who are doing cool things not only in St. Louis but really globally. I mean, you guys have really become a global company based here in St. Louis. Tell us a little bit about Monta Watches, what you guys do, and where you see it going.
Sure. So Monta Watch is a Swiss-made watch brand. So all of our watches are made in Switzerland. They are then shipped over here to our headquarters in St. Louis, where they're distributed. We are online only, so the only way to buy one of our watches is directly through our website, montawatch.com. And we focus on steel sport watches inspired by the design in the 50s, 60s, and 70s with attention to detail, exquisite finishing, and then we really back it up with an exceptional customer service model.
How you spelling Monta?
Monta.
Okay.
And Smash, you big watch guy?
I am not just use the term jewelry guy. I have never. Can I tell you a quick jewelry
Not yet.
story?
Not until you get a Monta, right?
Well, yeah, I dig what you're wearing. But a long time ago, I was never a jewelry guy. I got married and put on my wedding ring. And the week after I was married, I was broken out in hives. So I go to the doctor a week later after the honeymoon. I'm with hives in my honeymoon. So what have you done different? Well, the only thing I've done different is put on a ring. He said, take off the ring. And I did. A week later, all the hives were gone. I never wore jewelry after that.
It's interesting. So I'm sporting the Monta Ocean King right now. That's got the silver bracelet. Do you call it a bracelet? I'm trying to learn the lingo.
That's
but
pretty.
I also got a black rubber band that I can interchange with this one.
Yeah.
So hopefully maybe we'll get you a rubber band so you don't have the irritation on the skin.
That would
that's
be
an
good.
issue.
You tell me on that watch there, which is like an exquisite looking watch, you can take that band off and
take the
black
bracelet
band
off and put on a rubber strap, a leather
Nice.
strap, a fabric strap. There's countless options.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I could dig that.
So tell us, how did you become involved with the company? I know you're a Belleville guy, first of all.
Yeah.
Graduated from Altoff.
Yep.
Belleville East over here, but neither here nor there. But you were in high finance. I mean, you were working for a major investment firm, investment banking.
Yeah.
And so tell us how you went from that to now the president of Monta Watches.
Yeah, so long story short, and emphasis on long, just was a passionate watch guy for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And finally, for the first time in my life, I feel like I was at the right place at the right time. And I met my business partner, Michael DiMartini, who had came up with the idea for this and was sharing it with me as a fellow passionate watch enthusiast. And I was kind of giving him my feedback along the way. And he said, you should quit and come do this with me. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, man, that would be awesome. But I just can't afford to do that right now. I got a wife and kids and the American dream going for me. And he goes, well, one day I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. And we still laugh about it to this day, where I say, okay, Godfather, ha, ha, ha. Sure enough, 6, 8, 9 months later, whatever it was, he made me an offer. It wasn't the right one at the time, but a few months later, after talking to my wife and my parents and my business advisors, I said, I have to do this.
Yeah.
At the time I was 35, I felt it was the last time I could fall on my face and still have enough time to get back up and make something of myself. And so I just leapt off the proverbial cliff. And 4 years later, here we are, about to announce our 5th model. And I'm having more fun than I ever could imagine. I feel like I haven't worked a day in my life last
You know
years.
what I dig about the watch, because Mark showed me before you rolled in, is that it has a nice gleam to it, but it's not such a gleam that makes you too fabulous. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it has a manliness to it that really when you put it on your wrist right there, you almost making a statement of some sort.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's all intentional. That's all part of the design process.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I said to people, I mean, this is, when you look at it, I mean, this is as high caliber as
Pretty.
a Rolex or any of the other Swiss brands that may be out there. So tell us, I mean, what separates you guys from some of the higher end watches that you see out there?
So to put it bluntly, the only thing that separates us is we don't have the history and heritage of a brand like Rolex, Omega, or Vacheron, or Patek, or any of the big brands you want to talk about. But our materials, our dial, our hands, the way the case is finished, the crown, the bezel, which we have 2 patents on, all those pieces are made by the highest caliber Swiss manufacturers that also work with a lot of those big brands I just mentioned.
Right.
So we come up with our own design. We go to them and say, can you make this hand? Can you make this dial? And we push them to the limit to get what we want, which is an exceptional product that we can stand behind and deliver to our customers.
Mm-hmm.
And then they do it for us. They put it all to our assembly company, and the watch is assembled and brought to us and shipped to the customer.
It's a traditional watch face type of thing. But I'm just thinking, would a company like yours eventually go, you know, how they have the computers on their wrist, you know, in other words, have a watch like that?
No, that's never our intention. We're kind of, I guess, old-fashioned in that sense, where we like the mechanical, automatic nature of it.
Exactly.
No batteries.
That's what a watch is.
It is.
You just carry a computer on your wrist is all the other deal is.
Exactly.
And I think that I've never been an iWatch guy, or what do they call it? I don't even know what you call it. I like the jewelry aspect to it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a piece of jewelry that you can pass down, whereas, you know, an iWatch is not going to last
It's
more than
worthy
a
of
few years.
heirloom.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yep.
For sure. And like I said, I've really enjoyed it. And I don't have a lot of watches. I'm not a watch aficionado.
It's
but
a slippery slope, Mark.
I agree with you. I think that what I find so cool about this company is that it is St. Louis based, but you guys really have an international reach. Mm-hmm. So talk about sort of, you know, who are your clients, and how do you get them to buy into, you know, the brand and the company?
Sure. So the short answer to that is social media. The little bit longer answer is that our demographic is pretty much based on what social media tells us. 92% men, 8% women, and then both male and female are about age 21 to age 55 is where the bulk of our customers are. But, you know, I've sold watches to guys graduating college. I've sold watches to guys retiring and wanting a commemoration piece of sorts. Yeah. And I've delivered watches to, I want to say, close to 40 different countries now in the last 4 years. Huh. So it's truly global. It's, you know, male and female, all ages. And that's the great thing about a Monta watch is it's got that wide appeal. It's sporty, but the way it's finished also has that nice, luxurious, classy appeal to it. As we always say, you can wear it from the beach to the boardroom and everywhere in between.
Well, now when you go to Switzerland, you know, because you got to have meetings and stuff like that with your team in Switzerland. I was wondering, do you go up there like to the Matterhorn and stand on the edge and sing anything from the Sound of Music?
Haven't done Matterhorn yet, but actually my 2 favorite places is Lucerne, which if you Google that, it's got the wonderful bridge across the water there. Just one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. Yeah. And then number 2 is a little city called Montreux, which is the home of the Queen Museum.
And the Jazz Festival.
That's right. And the Queen Museum, if you're even a remote music fan, I'm a big fan of Queen, but I love music, and I had the best time in that museum. Yeah. I probably spent 3 hours there.
It's got to be cool, huh?
Yeah, it's great.
So what is it about the Swiss that, you know, why are they the, you know, go-to for expensive watches?
History and tradition. They've been doing it for 400 years, and when you've been doing something a long time, you get pretty good at it. And it just started that way, and they have continued to drive the evolution of the technology and the people. You know, the people there, the culture embraces it. So, you know, when you're born in Switzerland, if your father was a watchmaker, there's probably a good chance you're going to end up being a watchmaker, and it's passed down that way, and they just take it real seriously.
Do you have to learn to speak the language when you go over there, man?
No, because luckily we have a designer that's full-time for us that lives in Switzerland, and he speaks 4 or 5 different languages. Yeah, so when we go out to eat, you know, we just tell him what we want, and he orders, and it's great.
See, when I hear Swiss, I think tax evasion. Being the tax lawyer that I am, so hopefully you're not setting up, but you're not meeting any Swiss bankers over there.
We have not been to a Swiss bank.
And if you do have foreign accounts, you want to make sure to disclose those on your tax return. You got to check the box and indicate that you have foreign assets. Because I don't know if you've seen
the St. Louis tax.
One of my favorite movies, The Wolf of Wall Street. You know, that's how he got brought down. Was the Swiss banker got popped here in the U.S. And
who was that girl who was in that movie, man?
Beautiful. Margot Robbie.
Yeah,
Oh.
well, it is. Yeah.
I was just watching it last weekend, and that scene in particular
Magnificent.
cracks me up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
one of the best. I think it's becoming one of my, like, it
Yeah,
used to be like
it's a great
old, if a
movie.
movie's on, you kind of watch it, and that's
Yeah.
certainly one of them. And talk about pricing, because what I think is amazing about your company is, it is the quality of a Rolex, maybe better. I mean, I think you would argue it's better quality, but the price point is very, I think reasonable when you're talking about the quality. So how do you decide how you're going to price them,
Yeah.
and tell us a little bit about your pricing structure?
Great question. I used to not avoid pricing, but just kind of glossed over it in interviews and just wanted the product to speak for itself. But now that we've been around for 5 years, I'm happy to discuss it because we now have a track record. We have thousands of customers that can now vouch for us. And we started at a lower price point to establish ourselves because we knew we needed to come out of the gate swinging, so to speak. And now we've had one small price increase. And actually, the timing of this is really good because next week on Monday, August 17th, we have a bigger price increase coming. So Mark swooped in right at the last minute, got a great deal. His watch is already going to go up in value.
Nice.
I didn't even know she was getting it. I mean, I had been wanting one of these. I'd seen some friends of mine that had them.
Yeah.
Knew about
Shout
Justin.
out to Ryan and Alice.
Yeah, our friends Ryan and Alice hooked it up. Ryan also has the Ocean King as well, and so it was really it's rare to have like a true surprise, and this really was. So kudos to you for coordinating that and pulling it off.
So our prices are going to jump up a little bit over the $2,000 price point for the first time in company history. So everything will now range from about $1,600 to $2,200.
Excellent. And right now the COVID situation, I've seen conflicting reports. Some people say jewelry, business is up because people, they're not taking the pricey vacation, so they're buying jewelry. Like, what have you seen as far as COVID and how it's impacted your industry?
So we got hit really hard in March and April, and it was pretty scary, to be honest with you. Where we were starting to think, okay, how does this end in a good way?
Mm-hmm.
But we luckily put our heads down, persevered, moved past that, and June and July were really good. So far in August, things are pretty light, but that's just kind of being an online-only company. You're going to have that roller coaster of online sales. We have a new model launch on Monday, which I think is going to drive a lot of excitement.
What's the new model?
So it's our fifth model. It's going to be the dressiest model that we've ever done. It's going to have some really high mirror polish finishing to it.
Nice.
It's got a very simple dial, very simple hands. And the biggest thing now is that what Mark has here is our adjustable bracelet, so you can adjust everything on the fly.
Yeah.
We've now rolled that out across the entire collection. So the new model is going to have the new bracelet, and I think people are going to go crazy.
That's
for
the
it.
beauty smash. See, what I can do here is I can adjust it. Maybe I have a
He's out on the
late
golf
night,
course, or
a few too many hard seltzers, I get a little bloated. I can just do rather than taking a link out, I can actually just pop this thing out here, slide it down, make it a little bigger, make it a little smaller, depending on how bloated I am in a given day. So that's
pretty cool.
Honestly, I've never seen that feature before. Probably because I've been wearing fossils since I was like 14 years old. So this is definitely a major upgrade for me.
Does one of your partners have like a water retention problem, and that's why you came up with something like that?
No.
Does the wrist swell?
Yeah, I mean it's more just everyday life, right? Like Mark alluded, you have a salty dinner, or you're playing golf, or just in the seasons. But actually, a dive watch is meant to go diving. So the bezel rotates so that you can time your oxygen tank level. And then the adjustable bracelet is actually so as your body decompresses when you go lower, you can tighten it over your wetsuit so that it doesn't slide off. That's the true tool functionality of it.
Pretty cool, man.
Can't do that with an Apple Watch.
Yeah, right.
So what? Tell us a little more. I mean, you're an entrepreneur. I mean, you like I said, you left not certain income, but it's probably pretty scary to make that leap.
Yeah.
How has it been? I mean, do you have any regrets, or are you loving life right now?
Zero regrets. Absolutely love it. I certainly have good days and bad days, but the good far outweighs the bad. And I have a quote that I'll take the claim to is that the pain of regret is greater than the pain of failure. And that was
definitely.
my big impetus in doing this.
That's
I
a good
reminded
one.
myself that every day, that if I look back 5 years from now, and my business partner, who still would have been my friend if I hadn't done this, seeing him grow this brand, knowing that I could have been a part of it, would have killed me.
Yeah.
I have my entrepreneurial background also stems from the Post Sports Bar and Grill here in St. Louis. We've got 3 locations.
Love the Post.
Creve Coeur, Fenton, and Maplewood.
Yep.
And my business partner there, Adrian Glass, we were like best friends in high school, and he taught me a lot. And so I was a part of that since basically, right after I graduated college at St. Louis U, and watching him grow the Post kind of lit another fire inside of me that got me to the point where I felt like I could take that risk and marry that with my passion for watches. So
Why'd you name it The Post as opposed to any other name? And what other names were you thinking about the restaurant?
So all credit to my partner, Adrian Glass, on that. That was all his baby. And oddly enough, that is just a reference to a friend of ours in high school who just used the word post for anything. He'd be like, let's go post up at Smash's house. Or,
I see.
Man, you got really posted last night. Or whatever it was.
Who was that? Was that Winslow by chance?
It was not.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
Winslow.
they will go unnamed.
Okay. All right, fair enough. But yeah, I love the Post. Been going there. Maplewood
Had
for a
some
long
wings
time.
last
Creve
week,
Coeur.
man.
Yeah.
Great wing. And the pizza. The pizza is outstanding.
Yeah.
Philly
Pizza dough's made
cheesesteak.
in house, the baked wings, hand patted burgers. If you like bar food, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
And we've got some healthier options and some salads there too for people who want to adhere to that.
Absolutely.
And you
Well,
got a nice outside too, man.
Yep.
yeah, for sure. Tell us where people can find out more about Monta. I know you guys have very strong social media games, so tell us all
Yeah,
that.
so find us on Instagram at Monta Watch, MONTAWATCH. It's also montawatch.com. You can search for us on Facebook and just reach out to us. Email info@montawatch.com. Go to our website and call the phone number. Calls are forwarded while we're working at home. We love talking watches. Once things return to some state of normalcy, we've got a fantastic office in the Westport area. We've got an in-house watchmaker that handles all of our service right there. And we'd love to welcome people back to the office so they can see the product in person and get to meet the owners behind the team.
That's awesome. Well, and so you do call it a watch, not a timepiece. Because when I hear timepiece, I think that's a little more snooty
That's a
than
little
watch.
stuffy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
call it a watch. I mean, in some of our real pretty marketing materials, we use the word timepiece, but it's synonymous.
All right, good deal. Well, we really appreciate you being here, sharing your story. Hopefully, people will check it out like I did, and I don't think you'll regret it for a second. I love this watch. I'm wearing it every day now, so we appreciate it, and wish you the best.
Yeah, thank you both. I really appreciate you guys
Right.
having me
Honor
on.
to meet you, sir.
All right. And Smash, he's a great guy. Monta Watch, cool company. Hopefully, people will check him out. Now that I got this, you know what I got to do?
That's a cool watch.
You know what I
man.
got to do? I got to add this to my personal articles policy, my insurance policy with my buddy Kevin Wingenbach at
Over
State Farm.
Right.
Because, Mama Milt's got a lot of jewels, so we had to get that extra. We had to get that extra
Mama Milt.
personal articles policy. You wouldn't even believe what that thing costs. But basically, a lot of times people assume, hey, I got a homeowner's policy. I'm covered in the event, of a robbery, a fire, whatever it may be. That's not the case. Most policies, you're covered for like $1,000 worth of jewelry, whereas if you've got
That's a good point.
expensive engagement ring, watches, any other family heirlooms, you're not necessarily protected. So that's another thing, Kevin. Kevin Wingenbach, State Farm. When I switched all my insurance over to him, he laid out sort of what my actual policy that I had covered as far as homeowners. Made the realization that, hey, we gotta bump up not only our coverage for the home to cover if we were to have a total loss to be able to rebuild the house. Often the policies aren't necessarily they're not covering you for what it would really take to rebuild the house on the land that you've got.
That's right.
And then also the personal articles policy. We also have our auto insurance with him, and like I said before, all of those policies, the auto, the home. I thought I was getting better deals by going through, an internet insurance provider, and come to find out, not only was I underinsured, but with those other policies.
That's what I was worried about, that stuff, man.
Well, right. Nobody really thinks about it, right?
Exactly.
You just want to know, I've got coverage, but you don't really think about, what am I actually covered for?
Yeah.
And that's what Kevin Wingenbach at State Farm will help you with. Give him a call. Check out his website, SoCo Insurance, like South County, SoCoInsurance.com. That's Kevin Wingenbach, State Farm. When we come back, next segment, we're going to talk about Kamala Harris.
Like the comma.
Correct.
The
Biden's VP choice.
pronunciation, Yeah.
Get your thoughts on that when we get right
Punctuation.
back. This is the Mark Milton Show with the Smash.